Mastering confident body language for social success in today's world, communication extends far beyond spoken words. Your body tells stories silently about your confidence, intentions, and even emotions you may not consciously express. For those who value etiquette and refined lifestyle practices, mastering confident body language isn't optional, it's essential. The way we stand, gesture, and interact physically can shape first impressions, build trust, and influence outcomes in both professional and personal settings. Whether networking at a gala or leading a meeting, intentional body language elevates presence and professionalism. The science behind nonverbal communication. Nonverbal cues account for over 90% of human communication according to studies by Albert Mehrabian, a renowned psychologist. This statistic underscores the critical role of body language in conveying messages effectively. Verbal communication alone often fails to capture nuanced feelings or intentions. Your posture, tone, and movements are processed by the brain faster than spoken words. When someone crosses their arms or avoids eye contact, these signals trigger subconscious interpretations. Understanding this science allows you to take control of your nonverbal narrative. Posture, slouched shoulders signal insecurity, while upright positioning exudes authority and self-assurance. Gestures, open hands during conversation show openness, whereas crossed arms might suggest defensiveness or resistance. Movement, purposeful steps convey confidence, while hesitant shuffling implies uncertainty. Experts emphasize that these signals are universal yet deeply personal. What feels natural to one individual might seem off-putting to another based on cultural norms and context. Cultivating awareness of these unconscious habits transforms them into deliberate tools for connection. With practice, subtle adjustments can shift perceptions dramatically, from appearing aloof to being approachable. Fundamentals of postural power. Achieving postural power begins with aligning your spine vertically. Imagine a string pulling upward through the crown of your head, straightening your neck and shoulders naturally. This alignment promotes good circulation and projects calm assurance. Stand with feet hip-width apart, distributing weight evenly. Avoid locking knees or leaning heavily on one side. A balanced stance creates stability and reduces tension in the upper body. Sitting posture follows similar principles. Sit tall in chairs, avoid slouching, and keep heels flat on the floor unless otherwise required. These small choices send clear messages about your attitude toward interactions. Consider the power pose concept popularized by Amy Cuddy's research. Holding expansive positions like hands on hips or wide-legged stances increases testosterone levels and decreases cortisol, fostering inner confidence that radiates outwardly. However, moderation is key. Overcompensation by forcing exaggerated postures appears forced rather than genuine. Natural poise stems from comfort and consistency, not performative effort. The art of expressive facial micro-movements. Facial micro-expressions occur rapidly and involuntarily, revealing true emotions before conscious deception sets in. Smiles, furrowed brows, and raised eyebrows convey layered meanings depending on timing and context. A genuine smile involves both the mouth and eyes, the Duchenne smile, which triggers positive reactions and fosters rapport. In contrast, forced smiles lacking eye crinkles appear insincere and disengaged. Practice recognizing subtle shifts in others' expressions too. Slight downward turns of lips indicate displeasure. These observations refine social intelligence significantly. Beyond smiling, controlled eyebrow movements add nuance to conversations. Raised brows invite curiosity, while lowered ones show seriousness. Mastering these requires mindfulness but yields powerful results in interpersonal dynamics. Remember that facial expressions work best when aligned with verbal messaging. If your voice expresses enthusiasm but your face shows indifference, confusion ensues. Harmonizing all channels ensures authentic communication. Harnessing hand gestures for impact. Hand gestures serve as visual punctuation marks in speech. Open palms signify transparency, while clenched fists demonstrate intensity or frustration. Choosing appropriate motions amplifies verbal messages substantially. Vary the complexity of your gestures based on message gravity. Simple hand waves suffice for casual greetings, whereas sweeping arm movements accompany grand revelations or emphatic declarations. Coordinate movement with speech rhythm. Allow pauses for larger gestures to fully register visually. Rapid finger tapping alongside quick sentences conveys nervous energy unintentionally. Be mindful of culturally significant symbols conveyed through hands. The thumbs up sign varies globally. While widely accepted in Western cultures, it carries negative connotations elsewhere. Cultural sensitivity prevents misinterpretations. Dominant individuals often use broad, dynamic gestures compared to reserved speakers who opt for smaller motions near their torso area. Gradually expanding range builds assertiveness without overwhelming audiences. Eyes as windows to connection. Prolonged, direct eye contact establishes trustworthiness but risks intimidation if maintained excessively. Balance is vital. Sustained gaze shows interest, while intermittent glances allow comfortable breathing room. Eye contact duration depends on relationship type. Colleagues warrant moderate attention, whereas close friends merit more frequent exchanges reflecting familiarity and warmth. Use soft eye contact when listening intently, to show active engagement without pressure. Brief blinks or slight downward looks while processing information create natural rhythms in conversations. Avoid staring contests during meetings or introductions. It signals aggression or discomfort. Instead, let peripheral vision track participants around you organically. Those with anxiety often look away excessively or fixate unnaturally long periods. Training yourself to glance slightly above noses helps reduce tension while maintaining respectful eye interaction. Reflective techniques for better rapport. Mirroring occurs unconsciously when people connect positively. It's nature's way of building empathy through shared patterns. Subtle replication of posture, pace, and tone fosters instant likability. Observe how successful negotiators match the other party's physical mannerisms discreetly. Aligning shoulder angles or nodding frequencies strengthens psychological bonds without seeming manipulative. Be cautious not to mirror aggressively. Overdoing mimicry raises suspicion instead of establishing trust. Keep replicas subtle and occasional for authenticity purposes. This technique works particularly well in cross-cultural situations where language barriers exist. Matching unspoken behavioral cues bridges gaps between diverse backgrounds seamlessly. When initiating conversations, adopt mild mirroring early on to encourage openness. Adjust gradually as interactions develop naturally without overt manipulation attempts. Navigating personal space boundaries. Personal space zones vary greatly among cultures. Understanding these differences prevents accidental invasion or withdrawal during interactions. Maintaining appropriate distance respects everyone involved. The intimate zone spans 0 to 18 inches, typically reserved for romantic partners. Friends occupy the personal range, 18 inches to 4 feet, acquaintances fall within social territory, 4 to 12 feet, and public spaces exceed 12 feet normally. Watch for signs indicating discomfort such as stepping back, looking down, or increased fidgeting. These signals prompt recalibration of proximity accordingly. Cross-cultural considerations matter significantly. For instance, Latin American countries favor closer distances compared to Northern Europeans who prefer greater separation between individuals. Adjust your positioning dynamically based on environmental factors too. Crowded rooms necessitate reduced spacing temporarily until sufficient clearance becomes available. Decoding cultural nuances in body language. Cultural variations profoundly affect meaning attributed to specific gestures or postures. Recognizing these distinctions enhances global competence and prevents unintentional offense. In Japan, bowing signifies respect level determined by angle depth. An elaborate formal bow contrasts sharply against casual nods exchanged between peers informally. Greece celebrates touch-oriented communication where cheek kisses and handshakes happen frequently versus Scandinavian cultures valuing personal space highly above physical closeness. India uses elaborate hand gestures called mudras expressing precise ideas through palm orientations. a skill worth learning for meaningful cross-border communications. Understanding such specifics enables graceful navigation of multicultural environments without compromising dignity or causing embarrassment due to misunderstanding. Practical tips for daily refinement: create daily reminders to check posture whenever seated or standing for extended durations. Set phone alerts prompting brief stretch sessions to reset bodily awareness regularly. Record video clips of routine conversations analyzing nonverbal outputs objectively. Notice recurring patterns requiring adjustment and celebrate improvements noticed weekly. Engage in mirror exercises focusing solely on facial muscle movements while practicing various emotional states. This trains expression versatility, immensely useful socially. Attend workshops featuring trained professionals demonstrating optimal body language strategies applicable personally. Hands-on guidance accelerates transformation noticeably quicker than theoretical knowledge alone. Join Toastmasters clubs or public speaking groups offering structured opportunities, refining expressive skills comfortably amid supportive communities, focused improvement collectively. Conclusion: body language is a silent symphony composed constantly by our minds, communicating volumes about ourselves whether we intend to or not. By mastering its intricacies intentionally, we unlock doors previously restricted by unconscious behaviors limiting potential. Adopting conscious control over posture, expressions, gestures, eye contact, and spatial awareness revolutionizes how others perceive us. These refinements don't alter inherent character, they simply elevate presentation to reflect true capabilities accurately. Begin observing your own body language today with fresh perspective. Practice small changes consistently until they become second nature eventually. Remember, the most impactful transformations stem from persistent commitment rather than sporadic efforts.